How's it going, everyone? Today we have Rich Coppola on with us. Rich, he TV analyst at Quinnipiac back when I met in '06 and '07. I spent 4 years there, and we're truly happy to have him on. Rich is currently with the ABC WTNH Channel 8 News in Connecticut. He was a 30-year sports director for Fox 61 in Connecticut from 1989 to 2019, and also had spent around 20 years doing Quinnipiac sports and even Yukon games around town, and has many different experiences. Thank you very much for coming on with us.
Brandon, it's great to catch up with you. It's hard to believe that you've been out of college for close to 11 years. It goes fast, and really enjoyed watching you, getting to know you when you played here, watching you develop as a player, but also as a person. So it's always great to catch up with the guys that you met along the way. Relationships mean a great deal to me.
Great. Yeah. And truly, of course, appreciate you coming on. And it's funny how you mention it. You were interviewing me a lot during my Quinnipiac days, and the rest of the players, obviously, and athletes. But now I have the chance to interview you. So just kind of funny how that all works. But yeah, it's been great. So is there something that you'd like to share with the players, parents, and coaches with your experiences through Connecticut sports and even in hockey?
Yeah, there's a million and one things I can probably talk about, but I think overall, as the game of hockey relates to life, I think there's a lot of life's lessons you can learn. I wrote down a couple of them. Rule number one in hockey, a lot of people say, is everything is subject to change, right? And isn't that so true in life, especially right now during this pandemic that we're all unfortunately going through? That's one thing. Enjoy the journey is another, and arrive early and stay late. I think that's so much a part of the game of hockey, and so much you can see relating to life. But Wayne Gretzky is a guy that really always stood out to me, Brendan, because not only a great player, obviously, but a great ambassador for the game. And I got to know Gordie Howe, and Gordie played in Hartford and then lived in the area after his playing days were over. So I got to know him pretty well and interviewed him one-on-one several times. And it's always been my feeling that as Gordie was a great ambassador for the game, that he passed that on to Wayne. And Wayne also did all he could to try and grow the game. And I was, just another guy in Hartford. Wayne comes through with Edmonton, comes through with the Kings and the Blues and the Rangers and all that. But actually, the Whalers were gone by the time he was a Ranger. But so I got a one-on-one with Wayne when he played for the Kings. And that doesn't happen in other sports. Like in basketball, I had no shot of getting Michael Jordan like that. But Wayne was such a great ambassador for the game of hockey that he would do it because he wanted to help grow the game. And again, that doesn't happen in other sports. That's something very unique, I think, to the sport of hockey, at least in terms of the four major sports. You wouldn't see any other sports.
Yeah, for sure. And I remember Gordie Howe, he came to our games, and I believe he even dropped the ceremonial puck drop at the first ever game against Holy Cross at the new rink.
He certainly did. And there's still, his number has never been, 9 has never been worn by a Quinnipiac player since. It's still on a banner that hangs in the corner of the rink. And Gordie was there. And he came on the air with Bill Schweitzer and myself. Bill very well. And was just to get, they used to do something in Hartford called, it was called Symphony on Ice. So it was a show for people that had skating in it, and they took down the plexiglass, but they were skating. We used to play in the intermission. We'd have a 5-minute game with a plastic puck. So if it went into the stands, nobody got hurt. And I remember standing outside the locker room in my equipment and standing next to Gordie. And, you're kind of laughing. I'm looking around. I have a dog here that's going by herself. But he was so down to earth, Brandon. And I looked at a guy next to me. I go, just your everyday legend. I mean, he's a legend. Arguably, to many, the greatest player ever. And some people will say Howe, some people say Gretzky, some people say Bobby Orr, whatever it happens to be. But certainly one of the top 5 game players, greatest players ever. And he was so down to earth and so accommodating and so approachable. And you probably shouldn't have to point that out, because why wouldn't somebody be? But a lot of people aren't, and they take themselves a little too seriously. And that's another thing I got out of covering sports a lot. Don't take yourself too seriously. Take what you do, okay, and how you make a living, take that seriously. Don't take yourself too seriously, though. I think that's an important lesson to learn, and no matter what your profession is.
Yeah, it's having that balance, of course, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And you could tell us from all those different experiences and meeting all those, we'll even say top athletes, famous athletes.